Hi, my name is Sam Jones, and I will be interviewing today. And what I just wanted to talk to you about is a little bit about your, ethnic background, and also, how do you feel about the stereotypes that people have about your cultural group. I would also like to talk about your customs and traditions growing up. I would also, another thing that I would like to discuss would be, your experience with the law enforcement, okay? So, for my first question, I just recently attended a baptism for my friend, and her daughter is also African American and Filipino. Were you baptized?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and how was that?
I was very young, so I don't really remember, but
Okay.
I was told by my parents that yes, I was baptized.
Okay, and so was it more on the Filipino side or was it more African American? Was it
It was mixed.
mixed? Okay, a combination of the both.
Yes.
All right, well that's good. So now, which customs and traditions do you think you were raised more by? Was it more African American or was it more Filipino?
More African American because my mom was the one who raised me. My dad's Filipino, and
Okay.
he wasn't around a lot. So.
Okay. So now, the traditions and customs you were raised by, what were a few of them?
Well, we were taught to have morals, and you're not supposed to give it away until you're married.
Okay.
I didn't abide by that one, unfortunately.
Okay.
You're supposed to be submissive, kind of like the husband, the man is the. I'm not really big on that, so I would say I'm more into the African American culture because I'm a little mouthy, so.
So you wouldn't follow the typical Filipino tradition that the man runs? Okay.
No.
So now this brings us to my next question. Do you have any traditions or customs that you use today that you use on your own children?
Well, as I pass the church, I still have my rosary in my window that I do my prayer as I pass the church.
All right, well that's neat. And my another question would be, growing up, was it hard being both African American and Filipino?
No.
So you never felt like you had to choose between a side?
No.
You never had to clarify?
No.
Okay, well, that's good. So my next question is, it's about stereotypes. And I was wondering, do you know any of the stereotypes that people make about your culture?
Well, they think that everybody is supposed to clean houses, and we don't have good bedside manners because we're rude, and we're not all the same. Everybody's different. I mean, they even have, for blacks, they have stereotypes there. We're all loud, we're all ghetto, we steal.
Right.
I mean, everybody's different. Every culture has their good points and their bad points.
Yeah, I actually have a couple of those stereotypes. They have for Filipino men that they're unfaithful and that they also suffer from gambling and drinking problems.
And they're controlling. Have you heard that one?
Have you ever? You have experienced those?
I have experienced that. Yes.
Now we have another.
Well, not me personally, but my friends, and I have. I've seen them with.
Okay.
And yes, some of them are true, but there's some black men who are like that. There's some Caucasian, so it's not necessarily the race. It's just
the man.
It's the man. Yes.
So we have another one about more of the Filipino side of you. It's they say that an alarming huge number of Filipino men are simply unfit to be good fathers or good husbands. A typically Filipino house is financed by the woman. Women are the bread earners, and whereas men usually immerse in their destructive hobbies or drug, alcoholism, and gambling, and also adultery. How do you feel about that?
Like I said, in a lot of races, you have some people depends on the family. Everybody, I wouldn't say because they're Filipino they choose to, because I do know couples who actually, for me for instance, my man happens to be half Filipino and he works. I'm not the only one who works. We're both working. He's a good father to my daughter.
Okay.
So
that's a really good thing to hear, because like a lot of at least how I feel, stereotypes are just...
They're just stereotypes.
Exactly. They have no meaning unless you
really
actually...
don't. It's like living inside of a box.
Exactly. And actually I have a couple for African Americans. They say that all African American people can sing.
No. No, I wouldn't dare.
They also say that all African American people don't tip.
I just tipped today, and I was actually getting into an argument with my mom at the table because I was trying to give a lady a big tip, and she was like, well, I guess that would be,
It's just a stereotype.
Yeah.
And like you said, it just happens. I think it's more so the person.
It is the individual.
Race.
It all depends on the individual.
All right, so Next, I would like to talk to you about your interactions with law enforcement. So, what are some experiences that you've had with
My
law enforcement?
landlord is a police officer, so I actually have no issues with law enforcement.
And even in your past, you've never had any negative experiences?
None at
Any
all.
type at all?
No, I think because I'm a female,
Uh-huh.
so, we get treated a little bit differently.
So you've never had any, you never had experience, any racism because you were black? I mean, because you were African American or Filipino? And they've never treated you different because of that?
Well, certain places around here, certain cities,
Okay.
when I go to them, you can feel they look at you a little bit differently. But I don't let it get to me because I feel they're more naive than anything. It's more of you don't know me. You probably was raised, black is white, and white and red is red, and
Right.
there's shades of gray everywhere. So.
Oh, well, that's good, because a lot of people aren't as lucky as you, because they're always being hounded by the police sometimes, I feel.
Unfortunately for them.
Now, to, end things and wrap things up, I would like to know if you feel like there are any benefits from being raised in a multicultural home.
Well, I think it broadens my horizon. I see the world, it's a big world, and I don't see it as, well, I'm black and you're white, and like my best friend, she's white, and I have Filipino friends, I have black friends. I don't discriminate. I think it gives me more of I'm more open to other cultures. I love cultures. Other cultures, learning other cultures and things like that. So
And you feel like being multicultural,
it kind of,
it just, not open the door, but it just was there.
it's kind of like an extra bonus.
There you go.
So.
All right, well, I really appreciate you taking the time to
No
answer these
problem at
questions,
all.
and I thank you, very much.